Hey guys, welcome back to yet another Champions League stream. I've been doing so many of these, but I had to do one with Younes, who definitely has by far the most appearances on my channel at this point. But was super last minute. I was like, you want to hop on? And he was like, how's now? And I was like, that's perfect. Like, let's just do it. I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting, staring at my screen, watching the minutes go by because I'm just that nervous for this game. So Younes, thanks so much for coming on. And hopefully we can help calm each other a little bit. How's it going? How are you feeling?
I'm good. I think we're going to make it worse, if I'm honest. I think we're going to make each other maybe a little bit too excited for this for this fixture. Like, it's so big. I can't stop thinking about it. I think none of us can stop thinking about it. I mean, I've got the Brentford-Swansea game, playoff final, in front of me, which is the only thing that is remotely taking my attention away, at least a little bit. But I'm watching this thinking about the lineup and who Tuchel's going to pick. And I'm like, oh, yeah, no, one sec, Brentford, come on, Brentford. And I'm like, no. Who's being played? It's crazy.
Just like crazy. Keeps going back. I totally feel that. Like, I literally dreamt the entire night about this final. The entire night. And I don't want to jinx anything, but like I woke up feeling that we had won it, and I was like, we didn't play the game yet. Damn it.
You want to hear? I woke up this morning. I had a dream last night, or not last night, like literally before I woke up this morning. I had a dream that we played the Champions League final. We lost 2-0. It was against Bayern Munich. And I think it was 2012 because we had the same jerseys and I saw Drogba. And I woke up and I was like,
I'm taking it forward.
I was like, yeah, it's like Back to the Future. I woke up and I thought, have we just played the final? Am I asleep? Like, what's happened? And then I realized, oh no, that was a dream. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. We haven't played the game yet. Nice one.
So for you, you're like, oh, I'm excited that we haven't played the game yet. And for me, I was like, oh my God, like I thought that we had won it already through the entire day. Like, this is the worst.
And it's crazy because I put it on Twitter. I put that I had that little dream. And weirdly enough, loads of others put the same thing. I dreamt of a final last night. I dreamt of a final. Yeah, I dreamt Chelsea playing. And I'm like, what's happened? Like, all of our subconsciouses just taken over. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Me too. I tweeted the same thing. And I put on my Instagram, like, can you tell I've just woken up dreaming about Chelsea? Because I'm like, this, like, I still half asleep and like just thinking about the final. But it's been like the past 2 days. I wasn't expecting to be this nervous, but since 2 days ago, like Thursday, I've really been feeling the nerves, the anxiety, just like, I don't know, like, especially for me, this is my first final that I've experienced with Chelsea in the Champions League because I started following them right after the 2012 final, which is so unfortunate. But like, do you feel kind of like the same emotions? Do you feel more or less confident going into this game? Are there any parallels that you can draw?
It brings it all back. It does. It's the same feeling. It's the same. Obviously, the circumstances are different, but I think with this, it's a little bit more unpredictable because back then we knew the team we had. We just knew what we were capable of. Despite being the underdogs, we knew, what we were really about. Whereas now, like, no one expected this. You know, I mean, even back then, we didn't really expect to be in a final, but you could just see we had the team that would make it to a final. Like, we were capable. With this team, no one thought we'd be in a final, and here we are. So, yeah, the emotions are the same. The nerves are the same. Everything is the same, except for what's going to happen later. We truly don't know what's going to happen. That makes me more nervous. So, yeah, it does. It brings it back. So don't feel left out because the emotions you're feeling now is what you would have felt back then. 100%.
Oh man, I think like it makes me even more nervous that we're playing Man City for some reason, just because I really don't want to lose against Man City even more than any other team for some reason. And just the fact that we have played them twice, 3 times this season, and we won 2 of those times. Yeah. Like, and the 2 times that we won was with Thomas Tuchel as well. Like, I don't know, like, does that make you more nervous that we won those 2? So maybe we like they're due for a win, or maybe it gives you like more confidence because we've already beaten them twice. How do you feel about that situation?
It's 50-50. You can look at it from either side. You can look at it from a side of, yeah, we've beaten them twice. We know how they play. We can do it. Yeah, cool. But then you look at it from the other side of, yeah, we've beaten them twice. Are we really going to beat them a third? Like, maybe tonight is City's night. You know, that's what starts to, you know, enter your head a little bit. At the same time, you know, Guardiola's not stupid. He's lost twice. I'm sure he'll try and execute the plan that he thinks is going to get City over the line. But at the same time, Thomas Tuchel's not stupid. So it's really, really difficult. To be honest, I think those two past performances won't factor as much as we think. You know, in the build up to it, maybe, because I've seen a lot of people talk about it. But now it's match day and now we're about to play. It's just a different level of pressure. It's a different atmosphere. It's a different competition. I think the players are going to forget the two games. Like, it's not even going to cross their minds because this is just a different level. So, yeah, I think, honestly, we might not have to focus on those two games too much.
I think that almost, not that it really like plays to your advantage, but it's like we're just going to focus on the game that we have ahead of us at this very moment. It's a Champions League final. All previous things for either side are both out the window. It's a clean slate. But yeah, I'm really nervous. I'm really nervous. So do you think that, you know, what was your expectation like going into this season? Because I never expected us to get to a final. I remember I keep saying this every time when you came on my channel and you said if we beat Atletico, we could win the Champions League. Here we are in the freaking final. Like, that was beyond my wildest expectations. And Thomas Tuchel, in just 4 months, has taken us from 10th place in the Premier League to freaking finalists in the Champions League. So, like, does that match your expectations, and does it exceed it? How do you rate this season now that we've got into a Champions League final?
It's exceeded. 100% it's exceeded. I think when we started the season, we didn't think we would, you know, crash in the way we did. So at the time, I was looking and going, yeah, you know what? Brentford are about to score third. No, they're not. He's missed. We started and I thought maybe we can compete for the title. We got top 4 with youth players, no signings. Now we've got signings. Surely we're going to compete for the title. And that didn't really happen. And at the time, I thought if we could just get to the quarterfinals, we're good. And when we crashed and just started losing games, I really thought we'd play Atletico and get destroyed. I remember saying, like, oh my God, like we've lost to Wolves, Everton, Arsenal, this, that, and the other. We're going to get annihilated by Atletico. Yeah. And then when Thomas Tuchel walked in, I was just like, look, I just hope we get a result, but I'm not really going to say we're going to do it. But when we looked like we were going to do it, especially after that first leg, that's when I started to think, you know what? If we beat Atletico and we get past them, then we can begin to dream. Because at that point, quarterfinal, semi-final, and you're there, you know? So that's where everything began to change a little bit. I was truly happy with the quarterfinal. Quarterfinal is progress from last season. And if we get to a semi, fantastic. But when we beat Atletico the way we did, and then we had that draw, that's when I started to go, you know what? I think we can go and just win the whole thing. And here we are today, about to play 90 minutes, and we'll be that far away from winning the Champions League. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
Gonna have a heart attack. Like, my husband asked me, do you want to go to a bar to watch it, or do you want to watch it at home? And I was like, I don't know which one is worse, like if I'm by myself or if I'm crying in front of people. Like, I don't know. Either way, I'm going to cry, whatever the result is.
I mean, it's not so bad if you can find somewhere where there's other Chelsea fans. Like, if that's there, then cool. But if not, then...
I don't know. Like, it's Madrid. Like, I like, everybody is like a Real fan, or Atletico. Maybe you find a Barcelona fan around, but to find like a Premier League fan is not quite as common. Maybe if I go, but I don't know.
You might need to drive to Porto now.
I know. Right.
Continue to stream in the car.
I'm going. Yeah, I'm off to Porto. I really wonder how people got tickets. Honestly, like, I was thinking about going, but I was like, I don't want to go if I don't have a ticket. So, I don't know. It's like absolutely insane seeing that atmosphere. So, kind of like going into this game, I know that we said that this is like, you know, it's its own separate game, but Chelsea's form before this game has been a little bit worrying. Like I could understand the Arsenal game, right? Like you're gonna have a blip somewhere, and of course it was going to be against Arsenal. But then like the Leicester City final didn't perform. I was kind of trying to justify like, well, we've been playing a lot of games, but still it was a final. You should have showed up. Played a fantastic game, I thought, against Leicester in the Premier League. But then against Aston Villa in a must-win game, we lost and really didn't look like scoring. So does this make you any more nervous knowing that we have 3 losses in our last 4 games? But on the flip side, we do tend to show up against these bigger teams. But obviously, I think we would have both loved to just like end the season with a really convincing win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the mindset of the players was, because I can't say we don't play well in big games, or games that matter. Because when you look at our Champions League journey, we did. We played fantastic in games that really did matter. But the Premier League and the way that we lost the FA Cup, that does make me nervous in a sense of, okay, if we reach the pinnacle, like a final or a game where the pressure's high, are we going to fumble? Are we going to make mistakes? Are we going to not play as well as we should? That's where my worry is. So, yeah, that is there in the back of my head. But at the same time, I'm thinking it's the Champions League. So the players are not going to have the same mindset as the Premier League or the FA Cup. No matter what level you play at, I think there's always a different feeling when you play a league game to a cup game. It always feels different, no matter what level. And I can only imagine at the highest level that it feels very different. So I think today the players are going to come with the mindset of the Champions League journey and forget everything else.
Yeah, that's
which would help us, a lot, and I think would gain a little bit of confidence in ourselves. But Man City are definitely going to be doing the same thing. The only difference is that this is their first ever final, and that should work in our favor. So
that's what I was just about to ask you. Read my mind. So we have kind of a comment from Tenny. He said, as I said before, we're better suited as underdogs rather than favorites. So I wanted to ask you, how do you think this plays to our advantage? Because we don't really have any expectations. Nobody expected Chelsea to get this far, but people, like, they might think City's season is a failure if they don't win this Champions League, because it's something that they just have not been able to win, and they're kind of expected to be the overwhelming favorite. So do you think that could play into our favor at all?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. I mean, the players are different. We don't have anyone from 2012 left, so we can't, call on that experience. I mean, they're going to be there. I know JT is going to be there. Czech is there, of course. Apparently, some other lads might be there, so that might help. I hope they get to the dressing room and talk to the lads before the game. Fingers crossed.
That would be amazing.
It would be perfect if John Terry can go to the dressing room. That could win us the game. Win us the game. He must. Yeah. Could honestly win us the game.
It's not even a question.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I hope he's allowed. But yeah, there is that added pressure on City. This is their first time. And the track record hasn't worked in favor of teams that show up for the first time. We lost our first final. No one has ever won the Champions League, not the European Cup, the Champions League, for their first time in the final. They've always lost it. So hopefully that works in our favor. But for us, we do have players that have been there and done it. Kovacic is a 3-time Champions League winner. We've got Thiago Silva that was in the final last season. Tuchel himself was in the final last season. Azpilicueta had played with, he just came afterwards after 2012, but he was teammates with all of those winners that we've come to know and love and legends. So hopefully he can, translate that energy tonight. Whereas Man City, it's all new for them. So I'm hoping that with the expectation that they're favourites and everyone looks at them and, this is what Guardiola's been working for the past 5 years, it's going to affect them more, fingers crossed. And for us, it's kind of a shot in the dark. But for us, Chelsea fans, we're looking at this like, okay, we've come this far. We got to win it now. Like, we can't not win it today. Like, please. So that's the pressure. That's just a little pressure on us.
I know. But I think like you said, overall, they have way more pressure than we do. So hopefully we can just embrace our underdog status, so to speak. And we've been underdogs in all of the games. We were underdogs against Atletico, against Real, against Liverpool when we played them, against City when we played them in the FA Cup semis. Like, against all these teams, we have been underdogs and we've still succeeded. So I have faith, but that I'm still a nervous wreck right now. I just want to say thanks for this comment. That's really nice. And, like, I obviously love having Younes on, and it's the birthday twin energy, obviously. So I was going to ask you something, and I'm totally blanking right now what I was going to ask. I totally forgot. I got excited. I got overly excited. So, if you had like to pick one player who you think is going to be the absolute difference maker in this Chelsea side in this game,
George asked me the same thing 2 days ago.
I ask everybody this question, and I'm getting a different answer every time, which is really interesting.
Well, I told him that we'll be looking to players like Mount, the players in behind the striker. If it's going to be Kai, if it's going to be Pulisic, is it going to be Ziyech, whoever, they're definitely going to play their part. Kante for sure is going to be, the man that can make a difference for sure in terms of controlling the game. But I truly think the man that has the potential to make the difference is Timo Werner.
Interesting. Another new shout.
No one said that.
Nobody has said that so far. I got Christensen. I got Mount. I'm trying to think. I said Kante. Nobody has said Timo Werner.
Yeah, I mean, like Kante, obviously, because Kante's world class. Like if he's at his best, boom, like you've got something huge on your team. But I truly think, like, to translate all of that build-up and to be clinical and to score, we need Werner on his A game today. Simple, because if not, we're going to get a few chances that we've missed. And we just can't do that tonight. Not tonight. So that's what I'm saying. If we are able to open up those spaces, get the ball to Timo in an area that he likes, and he's either one-on-one or in on goal, or he has an opportunity, if he can just be clinical or work the goalkeeper, chances are he'll score. And if he does that, that gives us an advantage and we can end up winning the game. But if he's missing, or he's offside, like that's been our problem for quite a few games and we throw the game away. So that could cost us. That's what I'm saying. He has the potential to be the difference. If he's on it, he can go down as a Chelsea legend tonight if he wants.
Oh, 1,000%.
Really. Whoever performs would go down as a Chelsea legend. So, yeah,
I would be very nervous if he scored, just because I'm going to be like, please don't roll offside. Please don't roll this goal offside. My heart wouldn't be able to take it. But I think you make a really good point. Like, the thing that's most nerve-wracking for me is, like, Chelsea have not been clinical. We're creating so many chances and we're just not taking them. I'm like, come on, please. You must take your chances against City, because they also, like, I think, like, the kind of like the media behind this game, right, is that City have this amazing attack and Chelsea have this amazing defense. So it's like the unstoppable force against the immovable object, so to speak. But City also have a really great defense as well. Ruben Diaz was voted, I think, the Premier League player of the season, or he was voted by fans or teammates or whatever. He was voted as one of the top players. So their defense is also incredibly solid as well. So I honestly do think we're going to get chances in this game, because I think they'll probably have a good majority of I think possession is probably going to be closer to 50-50, but I think that their attack is going to come in waves, and we can try to take advantage of that space behind when they are attacking, because we've seen that space is open to be exploited, but we just must take advantage of it. We cannot be missing or getting nervous, or like so many times that it's just like hit the crossbar or been like a hair offside or whatever it is. And that's like the biggest thing for me that makes me nervous, that Chelsea don't take their chances in this game.
Exactly. And that's what it's going to come down to. I truly think that we will set out to try and dominate the game. Try and set out to keep hold and control of the ball, because that's a way to frustrate Man City. When they don't have the ball, they panic, or if they don't have the ball for a prolonged amount of time, they begin to break down, especially at the back. So that could be the way. At the same time, if they do attack and we can get the ball off them and hit them on a counter attack, then absolutely. But that all comes down to taking the chances. Simple. We have to. So fingers crossed. And it'll be wrong to just say, it's only down to one man. I know Werner can make that difference because he has that potential, but I hope Mason Mount is on it. I hope whoever is going to be paired alongside him is on it. I hope that front three are lethal. Simple. They just all have to be absolutely on their A game, on and off the ball.
Yeah.
90 minutes of leave everything on the pitch. And there's nothing more that they can do, but they have to leave everything on the pitch.
I think Mason is one of the first players who's going to be doing that. Like, you just see
100%.
how much he cares about Chelsea. Like, Mason and Azpilicueta for me are like top two, and just like how much they bleed blue. Absolutely, like their blood is blue. Everything is blue. So kind of talking about not missing our chances. Do you have a preferred starting three in that three attack? We kind of mentioned Mason and Timo, so there's one more person.
Yeah, there's one man at the moment, and I'm purely basing this on gut instinct, and I'm going with Kai Havertz because
that's who I went with.
Yeah, because I feel like there's a goal in him. You know, if I look at any of our attacking players, the one who is the most consistent in terms of scoring, or the most likely to actually keep their cool and stick it in the net, is Kai Havertz. When you compare Timo, Mason, Pulisic, Ziyech, Kai Havertz, Hudson-Odoi, you just compare all of them. Kai Havertz is the most likely, so he has to play in that case for me. So I'll go with Mason Mount and Havertz and Timo Werner alongside them.
That's the pairing that I picked as well. I'm seeing a lot in the comments like Werner, Kai, Mount agreeing with you. Mount, Ziyech, there are a couple of shouts for Ziyech as well. Thiago Silva's wife is a freaking legend. I love her. Cool. Like, she's so cool. She's just the coolest person ever. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because I think that, you know, Kai Havertz definitely can show up in this big game as well. I think that he can find those spaces. His pace is a little underrated. I think that he's actually, because Timo's just so freaking fast, but Kai Havertz is also really fast too. And I think that he's usually quite composed in front of goal. There's been a couple of opportunities that he's missed. I'm like, oh, come on, Kai, you really should have put that away. But for the most part, I feel like he does have a goal in him. But Ziyech could also be an interesting shout just because he has more experience. He played in the Champions League semifinal with Ajax. I don't remember which games he started for Chelsea, honestly. Like, my memory does not serve me that well.
I mean, he did start against Man City at the Etihad. So it's definitely an option.
It's an option. I think with Ziyech, I feel like can be a frustrating player because he could create these magical chances, or he could turn over possession, or he could score a fantastic goal and be a difference maker as well. So that could be another consideration. But overall, I think that maybe that's somebody that you might bring on if you're looking for a goal, perhaps to kind of like change the game and inject something different to it. And then there's Christian Pulisic, who's one of my favorite players, obviously. And he's not really getting many nods from many people to start, and I can understand it. But, you know, what do you think about Pulisic? Do you think that he could impact this game in any way if he's on it?
Yeah, the truth is, for today, nothing can go wrong. That's just how it is. So you have to use each player to the maximum of to the best potential that they have, or the best ability that they have. And right now, Pulisic is more impactful coming off the bench. You just know you're going to get a wow in Pulisic when he comes off the bench. So for that reason, don't start him. Simple. And as I've said, my logic with Kai Havertz starting, I just think it works out better that way. It doesn't mean he doesn't have to play. It just means that he'll come on and make that huge impact. And that could end up winning us the Champions League. So just because he's on the bench, that could actually be better for him, you know, to have a bigger impact. So that's where I'm looking at it from. And by the way, just to shout out, because it's just happened, Brentford are promoted to the Premier League. Nice.
Breaking news here on the channel.
So go on to Brentford. Nice. It's a West London derby. Like, their ground isn't too far from Stamford Bridge, so it's really great. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh God, I can't even focus right now. Okay. Guys,
breathe.
just breathe. Like, try to collect myself. I'm so glad that we're doing this though, because I was just sitting like super anxious on my phone on Twitter, just checking to see like if anything has been posted, like off the Chelsea content, like that video they posted. I started crying, like, oh my God, this video is so beautiful. Like, shows our journey so much. And holy crap, there's over 600 of you watching right now. Like, what?
Demand is high. Demand is high right now. You got to remember, everyone's in the same boat. Everyone's at home like this. Just nothing to do, just thinking about the game. Like, so, yeah, you know, we're here to keep people's composure. You know,
we're just gonna keep talking, you know, whatever. So like another question that I wanted to ask you kind of about the starting lineup. I think obviously Conte starts for both of us, and if he's 50%, you know, still N'Golo Conte. But who starts next to him for you?
Kovacic.
Really? Oh, interesting. Okay.
I mean,
why?
If it wasn't for the occasion, I'd pick Jorginho. But because of the occasion, I'm picking Kovacic. You know, I think in terms of the style of football we want to play, Jorginho's better for what we do. But I want players that are going to keep their heads, and I'm worried Jorginho will lose his, just like he did in, you know, the cup final and all of that. We can't have that tonight. Plus the experience Kovacic has, he's won the Champions League 3 times. He is the most decorated European player in our team. So it's only right that he plays this final because he knows what to do. He knows how to keep his cool. And he can link up with N'Golo Kante very well. He's press resistant as well, which is, you know, City are going to play very similar sort of fashion to us, I feel. You're going to see quite a very similar style from both sides. And Kovacic is able to help counter that. So I'd go with Kovacic alongside Kante. And then if we have to, if the game opens up and we need to bring Jorginho on, like we did when we beat them at the Etihad, we brought him on and it helped, it worked. So Jorginho, again, just like Pulisic, could actually come on and have an impact and open the game up for us to score more. So, yeah.
Yeah, I honestly am like so torn because I don't really have like a set midfield pairing like at all. Like I just know like I definitely want N'Golo Kante in there. And I had a feeling, or I was at least thinking that Jorginho was going to start because he's been starting like the majority of games and been like the partner, I guess, of Conte. And the thing with Jorginho is that he could either have a really good game, which means that Chelsea have a really good game. But like you said, I also feel like he could have a not so great game. And then if he gets caught out, like it could be potentially detrimental. So I'm hoping that he has a good game. The other thing that I was kind of thinking about, and I honestly hope that it doesn't go to this, but it's just something that like as fans, I'm trying to mentally prepare myself for, is if the game is tied and then does go to penalties in the end, you probably want to have Jorginho on the pitch and maybe you want to have him fresh.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh my God. I can't do penalties.
I can't.
Not today.
No,
not today. I've been through it twice. It's not worth it. It's not. I mean, it is worth it if you win it, but that's just It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. I was watching Villarreal Man United, and I was nervous for them. Like I was even beginning to feel butterflies because I'm thinking, my God, like, you know, being in that situation, big stuff. To have it happen again to Chelsea for a third time. Like, we've had 2 Champions League finals. They've both gone to penalties. We've lost one. We've won one. To have it again, like, no, we have to end this in 90 minutes. We just have to. Yeah. And let us at least have the night to celebrate. But then again, look, if it happens, it happens. I'm just saying, prepare yourselves. Make sure you guys have 999 or 911 or wherever country you're in. Just make sure you have that emergency number to hand because I think a few of you are going to need it.
Oh yeah, definitely. My heart would not be able to take penalties. Like I hate penalties. I hate them. And
I used to love it as a kid. I used to love
as a kid when you don't really care and you're like
even if it's my team, I'm like, yeah, penalty shootouts, yeah. Now I'm like, hell no,
absolutely not. No, get it off my screen. I completely understand. I don't know how I'm gonna get through this game, honestly. Like the amount of nervous, I'm not even speaking coherently.
None of us can.
Yeah, like how nervous I've been. I don't know how I'm physically going to get through this game. But if we win, oh my God, the tears will be coming. I started bawling my eyes out when Mason scored against Real Madrid.
Real Madrid.
I wasn't expecting to get emotional in that game at all. I was just like, oh, I really hope that we win. And he scored, and the tear gates just flooded open because I was so happy.
And that was just getting to the Champions League final.
Yeah.
I mean, even I felt it. I was just like, I can't believe we're in the Champions League final. And now it's like, yeah, we're in the final. You know, and it's like, we have to win it. Like, we can win the whole thing. It's crazy.
So close. We're so close. So, guys, I do want to get to some questions. If you have any, like, feel free to ask, and we can try to get to them when I see them coming through. So Mastering says, who starts left wing back and right wing back for you? I think like the main like talking point here is really whether or not Christensen starts for you, because that might decide who starts at right wing back.
I've seen a few people say, yeah, play Christensen. I understand why, but I would just go Azpilicueta right centre back, Reece James right wing back.
No.
Same. I don't want Aspi as right wing back, not tonight. I just feel like we need to have every single possible attacking threat on the pitch, and Reece James's crosses into the box is one. You know, he's better than Aspi at that. Let him do the hard work. He's young. He's powerful. Let him do the hard work. Let him run up and down. Let him attack, and come back and defend, and get stuck in like we know he can. And let Azpilicueta just be the top nice right centre back that he is.
Yeah.
I'm scared that he'll get caught out if he's playing right wing back. And I know Reece James might be there to cover, or Christensen, but I just feel like going forward, Reece James as right wing back brings us an added element. And right now, we just need all of our options. So
yeah, I think like Christensen, I think it's unfortunate because he got injured at a bad time, and he was one of Chelsea's best players up until that point. But now it's like you don't want to throw him into a Champions League final, I think, after not having played like so much. But I'm kind of wondering why there was the experiment with Reece at right center back and Aspi at right wing back. Like in my head, I'm thinking, was Tuchel trying to test it out for the Champions League final, or to prepare it for the Champions League final so they have a couple of games to go? Like, I don't see too many advantages other than maybe that you don't have like both attackers completely up, because maybe you're going to have Azpilicueta a little bit further back, then you'd have like a Ben Chilwell or something, so you're not like as caught out up the pitch, and then you have Reece to cover. And I think like Reece was still getting forward, he was playing more centrally, which could also be an option. But yeah, I don't know. I think I would stick with Reece right wing back, Aspi right center back, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, neither would I. And that's my gut feeling, is that I feel like maybe he might actually do it. And I think at the time, yes, it might have turned into a bit of an experiment, especially going into the Aston Villa game. But initially, that was to stop Jamie Vardy. And it was clear, because Aspi would not have caught up with Jamie Vardy, whereas Reece James did. And we saw against Leicester, Jamie Vardy wasn't really effective. I mean, the goal came from Tielemans, and then in the league game, we didn't see Jamie do that much. He had a couple of chances, but that was the only reason. After that, though, I feel like it became maybe a little bit of an experiment to see maybe this would be an option for the final, but I just don't think it should be. I just think Reece James right wing back, Aspi right centre back, we're good. We're good.
Lock it in. All right, I'm just gonna kind of go through the questions that we have in here. Is asking, who do you think will score, Ellie and Younes? I
mean, I've already said I've got a feeling Havertz has a goal in him.
Mason Mount came to mind as well. Like, imagine Mason Mount scoring in
that would be crazy.
Champions League. I would cry my eyes out.
That would be like, it would be a fast track Frank Lampard.
Oh, 1,000%.
Like, can you imagine 22 years old, Champions League final, academy player, and he scores? Like, that is legit. Lampard wasn't an academy player, but it is legit a fast track Lampard, because Lampard scored in that 2008 final about 5 years after he'd come into the team. So yeah, it'd be great. It'd be fantastic. But I feel Havertz, and if Werner scores, he's forgiven for everything.
Yeah, if he scores, he becomes a Chelsea legend, like right here, right now.
Yeah, I mean, if we win, we have to win for legends to be
Yeah,
given
of
that
course,
title.
of
But
course.
yeah, if he scores and we win,
If he
absolutely.
win. Oh man.
Absolutely.
Oh man. So I don't want to think about penalties, but we did get a question. So guys, sorry if you don't want to hear about penalties. I know a lot of people are saying, why do you even bother talking about it? But I'm curious. If you had to pick 5 penalty takers, who would they be?
Okay, so I'm not doing this in order because
Okay.
I can't. I don't think anyone can. But Havertz,
Okay.
Mount, Jorginho would have to be on the pitch. He might go last, or he might go in the middle.
Didn't Ederson save? Was Ederson the one that saved the Jorginho penalty? I don't remember, but
Yes.
I remember he kind of just like waited until Jorginho had to pick a side. And
It
then,
was, yeah, it was.
I think Jorginho does have to take a penalty. I was just going off on a tangent.
I mean, it'd be shocking if he missed twice in a row. Like, that would be a shock. So I'd go Jorginho. He knows how to take a penalty. You'd have to put Timo Werner. I think you just have to.
I would be so nervous about Werner taking a penalty, not because I do think that he could score a penalty, but just mentally, if he misses it,
that would kill him.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if I would want to put him in that situation,
But he's a forward. He's a forward. If it comes to it, he needs to take it. It's just how, I mean, like, you can't start jumping to your defenders and leave Werner out on purpose, because even to the public eye, that would be like, oh, they're trying to protect him. Like, they don't believe in him.
I'll tell you, like, for me, I had Azpilicueta in there. And
Azpi can take one, yeah.
Maybe that comes as a shock to many people, but I feel like, I don't know how many penalty shootouts I've seen him in, but in the ones that I have, he's looked pretty good. He's the captain. I felt like he could be a good shout. And Ziyech as well, I thought could potentially be a good shout.
Yep, absolutely.
I just feel like we have a small sample size with, like, who could potentially be a good penalty taker. You know what I mean? I miss Hazard. He was like guaranteed goal. You just knew he was going to put it away.
I feel like another one is probably Ben Chilwell as well.
I said, like, our left backs, like even Emerson could probably take a pretty good penalty. Marcus Alonso, who should have been a striker in his past life, like, he probably could take
100%. Actually, that's a good shout. If we get close to extra time, we can bring on Alonso. Bring him on.
He will not only score the winner for you.
Yeah, can you imagine? Marcos Alonso wins Chelsea the Champions League. Like, that's just nuts.
It's going to happen now. Like, we have just put it into the universe.
I mean, if there's one thing to learn about the Europa League penalty shootout, can you imagine like Mendy taking one? Or, like, if it gets to the defenders, like Thiago Silva stepping up, like, that'd be crazy.
No. I tell you, I would not want to take a penalty as a player. I would not want to do it. It's like, I can't handle that pressure. I can't.
I'll tell you, like, just on a local level, or on a Saturday league or Sunday league sort of level, you feel pressure. When there's a penalty shootout and you're going up to take a penalty, you actually do feel it. Even though there's no fans, like, you're in the middle of like a place where there's loads of football pitches, but it's an official game, there is pressure. You feel it. So when I think of that, and that's just based on my experience, I think of, if that moment, but at the highest level with fans and millions around the world watching, I can't even begin to imagine what that's like.
No, I could not do it. I could not do it. Hopefully, guys, it does not get to that. Hopefully the game is done in 90 minutes. And Fingers crossed, honestly. So John asks us, hey, Elizabeth, I heard Gundogan had an injury. Is he playing? If not, it could be a huge advantage for us. I'm not sure. I think he's injured, right?
So what happened yesterday, he came off in that public training session, and they're trying to say, he's got a little issue with his thigh. I don't think he does. I mean, if anything, I wouldn't be surprised if that's a mind game. I really wouldn't be surprised if that's just mind games to get Chelsea to think, okay, he might be injured. Maybe we change a tactic. Maybe we try and do something. But I don't think Tuchel would fall for that. So if that is a mind game, the laugh's on them. As simple as that. But if he is injured, then
I honestly think like Tuchel is going to prepare for all scenarios. You're not,
Exactly.
you know, like
Exactly.
you're gonna say if he's not injured, here's how we're going to play. Here's who's going to start or whatever. Maybe who starts doesn't change. If he isn't injured, then yeah, did I say the opposite? I don't know. If he is injured, we're gonna do one thing. If he isn't injured, we're gonna do another thing. And
Yeah.
I'm sure he has contingency plans for many players on the pitch because City also have a very deep squad, and I have no idea who's going to start. I mean,
to be honest, there's some people saying if Gundogan doesn't play, that could actually work to their advantage. If they were to play like Rodri and they were to play Foden as well, then boom, they've got themselves another attacking option rather than having Gundogan on the pitch. But again, they've got a massive squad. Regardless of what they do, they'll be strong. So we shouldn't focus on that. But Thomas Tuchel, as you said, will have every angle covered, so it's cool.
Yeah. I'm nervous.
All over the place.
Just making noises now. Gaga says, I agree with Younes, prefer Aspie over Christensen. I'm literally like so far behind in the comments. I'm just trying to go through all of them and see if we have any questions. Yeah, everybody, there's almost 900 of you. Like, what the freak? What is going on? Thank you so much, honestly, for tuning in.
People are dying for the game. I'm telling you.
Absolutely insane.
We're probably saving lives doing this, you know. There's probably people at home, like on the brink of a meltdown, and they're like, "Oh, finally gets to talk about football. Yes, let's talk about the final." Like, they're probably relieved.
Yeah, I don't know, because I was like trying to do kind of the opposite and be like, okay, let me try to take my mind off of the game. Let me, go for a walk, do the laundry, like just whatever. But nothing can take my mind off of this game. Honestly, it's just been like a complete wash of a day because I haven't done anything productive. I'm just thinking about the game. Carefree Chelsea says, big up Elizabeth and Younes. Thanks so much. Hope you guys are enjoying this stream because it's definitely helped me a lot. How are you feeling right now? I'm freaking out. Yeah, I'm freaking out. I don't even want to, like, my heart rate, right? It was 99 a few minutes ago and my resting is like 70. So that's just to give like, it's a situation, you guys.
Someone
really
quick, call a paramedic now. Call a paramedic.
Have them on standby because it's really insane. So, Younes, if you had to say like how you think this game's going to unfold, do you have a prediction about how you think it's going to go down?
I think it's going against what I want to happen. I think I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean, it's a bad thing, but it's not a bad thing. I think 1-1 extra time. 1-1, and then it'll be 1-1, and then they'll go into extra time, and then whatever happens, happens. I can't predict who's actually going to win it. I can't. I can't. But I do think there's a good chance it might go to extra time, which I don't want happening.
I hope it doesn't. Extra time is just terrible.
I'll take it if it's like 2012. If we get a last-minute equalizer, I'll take extra time, of course.
Yeah.
But I don't want us to get to that point. Like, let's win it in 90, please. Please.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Could you imagine if we just win it in 90 and like we're leading against City? Like, I can't, I'm still coming to terms with the fact that we're in this position right now, that Chelsea are the final of the Champions League, something that we have not achieved in 9 years since we've won the competition. Like, it's just absolutely massive. She's asking, where do you watch? I watch it on CBS, like the US channel.
Yeah, which is really good. They've got Clive Tildesley as their commentator now,
Mm-hmm.
which is one of the goats of English commentators. Like, I don't understand how BT didn't pluck him up. It's baffling. But yeah, I find it quite cool to watch on CBS. I only discovered that recently. But
Nice.
I'm gonna be watching on BT Sport. It's free on YouTube for anyone that wants to watch it on BT Sport.
That's good to know.
They're showing it for free on their channel. So if you can't watch it anywhere else, get a VPN and boom, you're sorted.
Yeah, exactly. Rich says Giroud last game ends with a bang. He could also be a penalty taker, honestly, if it came to
it. He could, and that's something no one's talked about. Like, this could be Giroud's last Chelsea game. It will be his last Chelsea
It is
game.
his last Chelsea game. Ah, that's so
Yeah.
sad. Hopefully he gets a chance to come on. I really like if we're winning and we can just bring him on at some point. Imagine he scores a goal on top of that. That would just be absolutely insane.
Arsenal in the mud. That's for sure.
Per usual. What else is new? I'm just joking. Harsa, can you sing the Timo Werner song? What's the Timo Werner song? I don't know.
I don't even know it off by heart, but when was it created? It was created on FA Cup final day.
Or the Leicester game, I think.
It was, yeah.
Allowed in the stadium.
There's a clip of the lads and everyone out in Porto last night singing it. But yeah, it's long though. There's a few lyrics to it. It's not easy. It'll take time to pick up.
I just know Chelsea. Just like there's just one word. There's not too much to know. Oh man. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be destroyed if they win it in.
And that's what's making me nervous.
Yeah.
That's what's making me nervous. My nerves are based on losing this game. Because that would be heartbreaking. I honestly I can't take that. I'm doing a watch long later. I will end the stream if we lose. I'm just like, I'm gonna go and cry.
I know. I was thinking about doing a watch along, but I was like, I feel like I'm gonna cry either way. So I don't know if people want to necessarily see that. And the other 90 minutes is just gonna be me like this, like trying to watch the game but be really scared about it. No, I do want to say though, like it's a freaking massive achievement for this side. Like we are still so young, all the players are young, so the fact that they've already reached a Champions League final with like you don't have the most experienced team, you don't have a lot of time with the manager either, and the fact that you're reaching a final already and you still have so many other years in store, I think that's super, super special for this side. And I don't think this is going to be the last Champions League final that we see a Mason Mount or Kai Havertz or, I do think like this is just the start for them. So, I want to win. I'm trying to be positive, but, whatever happens, I'm super, super proud of the boys.
100%. It's a big achievement, especially for, as you've said, a really, really young team. To make it to this Tuchel in 4 months, 5 months, managed to do that. So, yeah, it would be. It's a huge achievement. But the thing is obviously because you're here now, you got to win it. Yeah. But obviously, the other side is we just don't know how long it's going to take to win this situation again. So that's where you have to take advantage. So, fingers crossed, we get it done. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. Fingers toast. Any body part that you could physically cross. Yeah, 1,000%. I'm trying to be positive and optimistic. Let's be real. Once kickoff happens, I'm going to be bricking it, and it's going to be the longest 90 minutes or 120 minutes or more than 120 minutes of my life. But positive. I'm trying to manifest it into the universe. If we win this, what a feeling that's going to be. What a freaking feeling.
And that's the flip side. Like, what makes me nervous is if we lose it. But if we win it, I can't even begin to think what that's going to feel like. Like, again, we've got experience because of the last time we done it. And that was unreal. But I think this might actually be bigger to an extent because of the circumstances. That had its own thing, because of the legends we had, and it was their last opportunity, and we done it, and great. But with this, like when no one expected it, with a young team and the manager that's just walked in, it'd be crazy if we were European champions tonight. So fingers crossed.
I totally understand this comment. 1 million butterflies, 10,000 heart attacks. Like, doesn't matter the game, I always get a heart attack. Literally doesn't matter. It's not good for your health, but I still love it all the same. But honestly,
this is what it's about, isn't it? Being a fan and experiencing these moments. This is what we are here for. Like, it's to experience these sort of moments.
It's life. The highs and the lows and everything in between. Oh man, we
had it all in one season.
We did. We had everything. We had a change of manager, 9th, 10th place in the Premier League, going on to this amazing Champions League run. Like, it's I really could never have predicted this ever. Never. We're getting this question from Moaz a lot, so I'm just going to ask it. It says, "Who's your favorite Chelsea player?" Guys, you should know who my favorite Chelsea player is by now.
Easy for her, isn't it?
You guys know that it's Pulisic and Azpilicueta complete 1,000% tie. But Younes, I don't know your favorite Chelsea player actually.
It's difficult. I mean, do I have one? It's tough. It's tough. I think a lot of people that I know will definitely say Mason Mount, 100%. But yeah, it's weird. Before I used to have one. I mean, Lampard was always my favorite, even though I loved everyone. But Lampard had that little edge.
Yeah.
With this though, it's difficult. I can't call just one player, and that's again the beauty of tonight. It's just a collective thing. It's just everyone has their role. It's just fantastic. So yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult.
I asked this on Twitter, so I'm curious to see, like, if you had to pick one person that you're like, I really want to see this person with a picture, like holding the Champions League trophy. Do you have somebody that like really, really stands out for you? Because I do for me.
I mean, Kante would be hilarious.
N'Golo Kante is what like him just be like,
like he'd make it look like it's as worthy as this. Like he'd just be like, he's so humble. He just makes it look like it's not a big deal. It's fine.
Yeah, it's just waiting for his turn, like to get a picture with it.
It's hard.
I'll tell you mine, and then you can stew over it for a little bit. Mine is Kante, Aspi, and Thiago Silva, because those three, I feel like they just deserve it so much, and like especially Thiago Silva has not won a Champions League yet. Azpilicueta being like this amazing servant for the club and just giving 10,000%. Like imagine what it would mean for him to get a Champions League trophy as well. So like those are my three that I was just like, oh, my heart's going to absolutely melt. Obviously, like with every player, I'm going to love seeing them if we win. But like those three especially, I'm like, this is going to be super cute if it happens.
That is true, especially like Aspi, Thiago Silva, as you said. Aspi, who's been so professional, he deserves it. Like it's the one trophy he's not won. So yeah, absolutely. With Thiago Silva, 100%, especially considering last season. But yeah, in terms of having, there's also the added element in terms of having someone next to the Champions League trophy. You have to look to our academy players.
Yeah,
because that's just an unreal achievement. They only came in last season.
Yeah,
and now they're European champions.
Like Mason. Oh man.
Totally, yeah, like Mason, Callum, I mean, even Tammy, like just all of them with a Champions League trophy already. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. We just want to win it, you guys. We just want to win it. And I just want to say thank you so much for this comment. This honestly is super, super nice. Younes is my fave too. He's everybody's fave.
Thank you. So. I mean, I'm sorry. You're going to have to lose tonight, but I appreciate that comment.
So guys, I feel like this is a good place to end things. We've been talking for almost an hour. Like my voice is like actually starting to leave my body right now.
Yeah, you won't have any for the game.
I won't have any. Like tomorrow it's going to be absolutely no voice, but I really, really hope that it's a good game. Like you guys, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, because almost like over 900 of you at some point, almost 900 now. Like that's absolutely insane. Like I've never like that's just absolutely crazy. So I really, really appreciate it and hope that you enjoyed this video. And yeah, like it, subscribe. We have a lot of fun on here. And Younes, thank you so much for joining me last minute. It's definitely helped to pass just another hour of my life until this game, just to chat, see how you're feeling, and talk about this game. So any closing words from you?
I mean, look, we've got 2.5 hours to go. So, yeah, now it's going to start really kicking in. I just hope we get the job done. I don't care how we do it. I don't care if it's a boring final. For right now, I don't care about the neutral. I just want us to get the job done. Simple as that. I'm sorry for the neutrals, but simple as that. I hope we get the job done. Yeah, and make sure everyone just stays safe, stay healthy, don't have any heart attacks, please. Keep your cool. And I just hope we win it. Let's be European champions again. Fingers crossed.
I really hope so. So hopefully if we win it, I'm not gonna be sleeping tonight.
No.
There's no way. The adrenaline high will be too much, but
And if we lose, it's the first thing we're gonna do.
yeah, just cry myself to sleep. But honestly, positive vibes. We're gonna, one way or another, we're gonna know in a couple of hours who the new champion of the Champions League is going to be, and I just really freaking hope that it's Chelsea. I really do.
I pray it is.
I pray
it is.
Yeah. So, guys, thanks again so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this, and hopefully we have some really good news as our very last videos of the season come for the 2020-21 season before the Euros start and all of that. So fingers crossed, guys. I'm positive. Hope you're positive. We can do it. Let's cheer on the team. And yeah, thanks again for watching. Until next time, I'm out.